Shall we begin?
Welcome to the Happy MonsterCast. I'm your host, Scott Marchand Davis of Happy Monster Press.
Let's begin now.
This week on the Happy MonsterCast, the heroes participate in the Battle of Salem and the start of the Revolutionary War. Previously on the Happy MonsterCast, the squad of superhumans led by Elijah Allen attempted a rescue of Paul Revere from house arrest in North Boston. Partially successful, they have managed to break Revere out of his home, but are now pursued through the streets of Boston by a squad of redcoats. All right, so to recap, you, at the behest of Sam Adams and the Sons of Liberty, are attempting to liberate Paul Revere, the Silver Speedster, the fastest man alive, from his house arrest in North Boston. And you've partially succeeded. He's out of the house, but you are currently engaged in a chase through Boston, pursued by what is now a handful of redcoats, 3 to be precise, since you have managed to kill the rest of them and their sergeant, while you're attempting to reach the shoreline where you can get a boat across the river to Charleston. With that said, we are now going to continue the chase activity.
Okay.
And right out of
Get him.
Right out of the gate,
Oh.
Clara draws a joker. So pennies for everybody.
Nice.
It's a social night.
And that means you can act whenever you like, including right now.
So I think the last thing I did was kill the sergeant and kind of fail to run away.
Yes, you killed the sergeant, which means you now have an empty musket.
Right. But the idea is to not kill the redcoats that are after us, but to at least to knock them out so that they can't be calling for reinforcements or anything.
Yeah, you don't necessarily have to kill them, but
that's right. And you know, I just don't want to.
Yeah.
It's just not a good thing to do.
With that said, so this is a good time to make a note about black powder weaponry. There's actually quite a bit of controversy in the Savage Worlds community about how to handle this. So here's how I'm handling it. Muskets are reload 3. It means it takes 3 actions to reload them. However, to preserve some degree of realism, i.e., you can't reload a musket in 6 seconds by doing your 3 actions in the round. If you want to do more than 1 reload action per round, you need to roll shooting. So if you want to reload your musket, you can do that. You have a +2 on everything you do, so you're going to be faster at it than normal. Or you can use it as a club.
I'm going to use it as a club. I don't want to be tempted to shoot them.
Yeah, you also have a saber, so you could, and your shield. So you could sling your musket and draw your saber if you want to go the melee combat route. You would have to move over to engage in the melee, but since the chase is somewhat slowed down by this brawl, you're definitely allowed to do that.
Sabers.
Yeah, I think they're coming to me, or they're bringing the fight to me.
More or less, yeah.
Yeah. So I'll come. I'm actually going to, and let's try to fight with my shield.
Okay.
Sorry.
So with a shield, you have a couple of options. You can attempt to use it to push people, like knock them down.
Right.
Or you can go for the classic shield bash, in which case you're basically using it as a blunt weapon.
Right. We're using it as a blunt weapon.
Or if you want to go full Captain America, you could throw it.
Well, we'll practice a little bit first. I want to lose it. Not when people are chasing me.
Okay, so what would you like to do there?
So I'm going to use it as basically a blunt weapon and just smack them in the head. Just straight fighting.
Yes, go ahead and go and do a fighting roll, and I'll figure out the damage as I go here.
Okay. Oof. Spenny, that one.
Oh, Captain America.
Yeah.
Actually, that's a 5 with your Joker, because remember you get a +2 on everything you do. Here.
Oh, that's right. Is that good enough?
Not quite, because they're pairing with bayonets. So you do probably want to Benny that one.
Yeah, let's Benny that.
All right, that does hit,
Okay.
and it's going to be strength plus D4 damage for a shield bash.
Okay, strength plus D4.
Yeah, so it's a D10 plus a D4.
Okay. If I just roll strength, it's going to be just a D10. Is there a way for me to did that roll?
Yes, I just added your shield to your list of weaponry, so you'll now be able to just click the attack and damage button. So just go ahead and
Nice.
do that, and
My goodness, what
roll.
is with my?
Then you can do the roll damage on your fighting shield there.
Yeah, it's kind of lame, but
Oh no, do roll damage. You haven't done your damage yet. That's not
that's
that lame.
acceptable. That's acceptable.
All right, so you hit with the 7, and with the 11 damage, that particular redcoat is going down. So you basically charge in, nail him with the shield, and drop him to the ground.
Perfect. Didn't break his neck, did I?
You didn't break his neck.
Okay, good.
You were deliberately trying not to break his neck, so you didn't break it. All right, that takes us to Revere, and he's trying to figure out what to do.
On.
Okay, so you yell run at him. So that's exactly what
Yeah.
he's going to do.
Really?
Quite badly.
What the heck is going on with the rolls tonight?
He ran into a refuse cart and had to dodge around it, so it slowed him down.
Ugh. Okay.
Artemis, you're in mixing it up with the 2 remaining redcoats.
Okay, so there are 2 remaining redcoats. I am still invisible, tangled up with them. Okay, I'm going to use close to melee. I'm already tangled up in melee. I'm going to use the fighting knives attack.
Okay. So let me see. Make a stealth roll, and I'll see if they notice you.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, I'm betting not. They do notice you, but not well enough that you have to drop on them. Or they don't notice you, but not well enough that you have to drop on them. So I'm going to say that you have a +2 to attack, not a +4, since you tied that roll.
Okay. All right, so here comes the knife attack.
That is just enough to hit.
Damage.
Hits with a 6. A very respectable 12 damage, and that's going to take them down, leaving only 1.
Knife appears out of nowhere.
Yeah, this guy's going to make a spirit roll because this is not. Wow. Okay, with a 15, he's staying in the fight.
Wow. Okay.
So
Foolish.
If he had failed, would he have run away screaming?
yes. So he more than passed his fear roll there, which means he's going to take a stab at one of the people he can see, which I'll say the scary Native American with the axe is probably high on his list.
Why? That seems so foolish.
And he stabs the bayonet into the ground and clocks himself in the face with it.
Roll damage. Roll damage.
Another spirit roll. Do another spirit roll.
No, I'm going to give him a level of fatigue for bumps and bruises from that one. Okay, Elijah, you are not currently in melee with this last redcoat. What would you like to do?
I'm just gonna keep aware of what's going on. I don't want to take a shot into the crowd, so I'll have my musket ready in case somebody comes. I'll just keep running.
Okay. In that case, please make an athletics roll to run.
Okay.
All right, so you
Nice.
can move up 1.
Cool.
Actually, I'm going to count that as your athletics roll for dealing with the scaffolding because you did draw a club
Oh,
on
yeah.
this one. So,
How does that fare me?
so I need you to roll a d6.
All right.
All right, so you lose your turn.
Okay.
So you get tangled up in the scaffolding as you're running and trying to look back, and you don't actually get any further away.
Okay.
Hedonowit is not here, but he's not really a fan of the redcoats, so we're going to go with the smack him with an axe approach here. And with a gang up bonus, that's going to hit. And I believe that's enough with so the 6 hits with the gang up bonus, and that's definitely enough to shake him. It might be enough to drop him. Yep, with a 10 the last redcoat goes down,
Cool.
which means the rest of you are able to make your way to the boat to Charleston without any further incident.
All right.
So you quickly,
Right.
the couple of longshoremen that Adams had left with the boat quickly row you across to Charleston, and Revere says, "See you in Salem," and dashes off at high speed north or up the road towards the slightly smaller city of Salem. All right, so the longshoreman turns to you and says, "There's a brig waiting for you if you're headed up to Salem."
Yes, we are.
Yeah.
He gestures towards a small sailing vessel. "That's the Eleanor. She'll depart as soon as you're aboard."
We need to report back to Sam Adams on the success of our mission, or will he just get word of us?
Yeah,
Oh, we'll let Mr. Adams know about the events tonight.
Okay.
off we go.
All right, so you board the Eleanor, and it takes about 6 hours to sail up the coast.
Really?
Yeah, these are not
Wow,
these
okay.
are not fast ships, and you got to make your way out of Boston, uh, through the channel, dodge the islands. There's a ton of rocks that they're maneuvering around, and they make their way into Salem proper with the morning tide. And as you disembark, there's a young boy at the pier. He says he kind of looks at you, and he doesn't quite know what to make of you because you've got you're not a typical military crowd, but he sort of shakes that off and says, "Mr. Revere said you should come and meet Colonel Pickering on the green. It's just up this way if you'll follow me, sirs and ma'ams."
How old is this child?
About 7 or 8.
Okay.
Well spoken, young man. All right, lead on, son.
We'll follow as well.
Okay, new map. See if Brendan can see this one.
I can. Sorry, I'm cleaning my glasses, so I can't really see anything. Yes, now I can see
A
it.
lot. Okay.
That's a lot of redcoat.
And a lot of colonial militia, but you're not quite to this point yet. You're
Okay.
all right. So you arrive on the green, and the Salem militia are drilling formations. They're dressed in their best Sunday coats of blue and gray and brown. As they drill, grim-faced farmers herd cows and sheep off the green as the troops form squares, then into line and line back into squares over and over. A tall man in a dark frock coat and decorated tricorn hat, Colonel Timothy Pickering, frowns at the brave but unseasoned formations. And standing next to Pickering is Revere. So he beckons you over. "My friends, this is Colonel Pickering. He commands the Salem militia. We've had word that Leslie has landed at Marblehead and is marching his troops this way. We're just about to move over to defend the North Bridge. The cannons are hidden on the opposite side of the North River. We're hoping we can prevent Leslie from crossing and locating them. Our intelligence says that there are 5 graycoats accompanying his forces. So before we commence, if any of you have the battle skill, you have the opportunity to advise Pickering on his battle plan. Would anyone like to do that?"
I do. My character would like to do that as well.
We do not have that skill.
So,
Okay. So you've had some experience with the British regulars, and you give Pickering some pretty solid advice on forming up his line with inexperienced troops. And the two of you agree that the militia should form in a line of 3 ranks rather than the more typical British 2 ranks. They'll be a little more solid, a little more confident that way. So that is in fact what they do.
Okay. Cool.
So this will also be a good time to explain how super fights work. So this is going to be a superhuman mass battle when it happens. If it happens. Maybe the battle won't happen. We'll see. But if it does turn into a fight, it's going to be a superhuman mass battle. And the etiquette for superhumans in combat is similar to that of skirmishers in this era, which basically means the superhumans' primary job is to deal with other superhumans. And once they've done that, then they can turn their attention to the regular forces. So the way the battle works is you will be fighting the superhumans directly while the main battle is going on. And if either side starts losing their superhumans, that's going to have a significant negative morale effect on that side because they know that once their side runs out, then all of that superhuman badness is going to be unleashed on them.
Okay.
So as you follow the militia as they march the short distance over to the drawbridge that leads across the river, and they form up in three ranks in front of it. And it is not very much time at all after that before you hear the tramp of marching feet coming up from the south. And shortly thereafter, the 64th Foot arrives and forms into line facing the colonial militia. And you see Colonel Leslie ride out on his horse in between the lines, and he demands to cross the bridge. So Pickering, as well as some of the local townsfolk, come out to negotiate, as does one of Leslie's officers. It seems like the local parish priest is trying to convince Leslie to back off. And you also see that there are 5 graycoats, 3 on the left of the line as you see it, or the right from the British perspective, and 2 on the opposite side of the line, out on the flank. Where would you like to position yourselves? Revere, being kind of a traditionalist when it comes to this sort of thing, is going to jump out on the left to face off with a larger number of graycoats.
I'll be on the side with Revere.
Okay. Yeah, technically, you wouldn't necessarily. You could fight with the militia if you wanted, since you're not technically part of this whole superhuman thing. But that's up to you.
I would insist to be part of it. In fact, I would insist to get a couple of soldiers under my direct command.
Okay. So
And
they peel off one file here, and you now have 3 colonial militia under your command.
Same.
Okay, Artemis, where would you like to be?
As the battle unfolds, this is Colonel Leslie. Is that his name?
Yeah, right now Leslie and Pickering and several other people are in the middle of the line negotiating, and Leslie doesn't seem real happy about it.
Okay, what I'm thinking that I will do is just be invisible. I will follow Leslie. So when the battle starts, once we make our way back here, I'll just tail him and take him out. And hopefully that'll sow enough confusion in the lines here. Can I do that? Is that violation of protocol acceptable?
Well, can you do it? Yes. Should you do it? That's your call. So you'll need to make a power roll to be invisible in the first place, because this is definitely a stressful situation. And then you're going to have to stealth past Leslie, his officers, and the file of redcoats to make sure none of them notice the fact that you are invisibly tailing him. So if that's what you want to do, go ahead and make an invisibility roll.
I will do that. That's what I want to do.
All right, that's good enough. So you are invisibly hanging out near the negotiations here. Clara, where would you like to be?
Stand near the front around here. Feel like that would be.
In between 2 gun lines. Excellent choice.
What could possibly go wrong?
Well, that is a little bit more of a violation of etiquette if you're not planning to directly engage the enemy superhumans.
Oh, I think I would probably engage the superhuman.
So which group do you want to be near then? The group of 3 or the group of 2?
Group of group of 3.
Okay, so 3, 2 of you and Revere are over here, which probably means the other 2 should be on the other side to deal with those other superhumans.
Yeah.
Agreed. I just wanted to position her in a spot where she could be as far away as possible, but still pick off a high-ranking officer if possible.
Okay.
I definitely am all for dirty fighting and undermining British military tactics, because their 2-line chess thing is stupid.
Well, their officers are mostly going to be behind the lines. That's going to be a little bit tricky.
Okay, but you sort of get what I'm trying to do, right? I'm
Yeah.
trying to say, like, your chess game is stupid. Real people don't fight this way, so I will be dirty if I have to.
Fair enough. All right, so the negotiations seem to be turning south, and Leslie seems to be getting more and more irritated, and eventually he rides back behind the line. So, Artemis, I'm going to need a stealth roll from you, and then you're going to have to deal with 3 different notice rolls.
Ooh.
Wow, that 14 is a very good stealth roll.
It's very stealthy.
Okay, so you want notice rolls from me?
No, it's the British who are going to be attempting to notice you, starting with Leslie himself.
Okay.
Nope.
I don't think so.
British sergeant. better, but not quite there. And then the regulars.
Nah, nervous.
So you are now back here with Leslie, and Pickering falls back behind the line as well. The parish priest has followed you back and is still arguing with Leslie, as is one of his officers, suggesting that there should be a peaceful resolution to this.
What is Leslie saying?
And then Leslie is saying that he cannot return to the governor without having searched the entirety of Salem. And if he cannot cross the bridge, then he cannot honorably return to the governor. And about this time, both sides have presented muskets.
Oh, I'd be standing behind the men that are
Okay.
Shields up.
And there's a crack from north of the bridge, and one of the militia is spooked and fires. And that means we are in a super fight.
And the American Revolution, right?
Yep, that kicked off as well. I'm just going to add some turns for the various superhumans here. So what you see, what you're facing off with, in front of Revere and Clara and Elijah, there's a small, slight woman in gray coat uniform who rather, somewhat, you're a little confused by her because pretty much the first thing she did when she arrived was take off her coat. It's like, that's just weird. Nobody does that. So she took off her coat, folded it carefully, and tucked it behind that tree over there. And then next, there's a redhead next to her and a Native American gray coat as well.
These guys?
That's these guys.
Okay, gotcha.
You can see that the woman has a rank insignia that would indicate that she might be the leader of this squad.
Yep.
Nice.
And then on the other side of the fight, where there's only two of them, there's another redhead. And as you're looking across, you're not 100% sure, but it kind of looks like the two redheads might be identical twins.
Oh,
Twin powers activate.
And a rather short and a little bit stocky, kind of nondescript brown-haired gentleman on the other side, along with the redhead. All right, so let's see how this plays out.
musket.
Another joker for Clara. She's just like rocking it for you guys tonight.
Wow.
All right, so both lines have opened fire, and you have the opportunity to act first if you so choose, or you can wait. You can act basically anytime you want. You can jump in and say, "I want this to be my turn now."
I think I'm going to have to shoot at the woman who took off her coat to test this out.
All right, let's see. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, she's at short range, so it's a straight shot.
Okay. Can I boost the trait before shooting?
You can, but then both things you do will be at -2, which, considering you have a joker, means they're both neutral. So go for it.
I'll just shoot.
In that case, your shooting is at +2. That's going to hit.
Not seeing the damage button.
Oh, you need to go down to the attack and damage button.
Sorry.
Yeah. Okay, so that's going to do that. Hits with a that's a big hit. So you hit with a 7, and it does 19 damage.
So if she shrugs it off,
That's gonna
know something about her.
She's not gonna shrug that off.
Okay.
Well, at least not right out of the gate. Okay, so that's going to shake and do 3 wounds, which she is then going to try to soak.
Nice.
And she soaks 2 of them.
And those bennies.
All right, and she looks pissed.
Nice.
Okay, Pet Noit is up next, and he's looking across at these 2 guys, and he doesn't like the look of that redhead very much. So the first thing he's going to do is he is going to Swamp Thing out, which he does very effectively. So he is now like this green bark covered monstrosity.
Betty's the tank.
And then he is going to move out towards these guys and get right up in their business. Artemis, you have the drop on Leslie here.
Everybody.
Okay. So I am going to Garrock him.
Okay.
And hopefully with one clean swipe, I can just decapitate this whole thing.
All right. Well, that's definitely going to. You have definitely got him there.
Ow.
And there's an immediate shout of "Invisible man! Invisible man!" from the surrounding officers.
I'm getting my notice. Enough to kill him.
What's that?
So
You with the raise. Go ahead. Give me. It's going to be a strength roll against him for that.
okay, let me get here's strength.
All right. No, you haven't killed him. You have shaken him, and you've drawn a lot of attention to yourself.
Yeah, that's not good.
All right. Well, these things happen.
Okay, so that's going to be this guy over here by Pet Know It is going to attempt to disappear into the ground and not succeed. Elijah.
Who can I see?
Is he doing anything that we can see? Or is he just like
down and puts his hands on the ground and the ground vibrates for a minute, and then nothing happens.
Okay.
Okay, Elijah.
What can I see so far?
Well, you've got 3 gray coats over here, one of whom just took a minor graze from a musket, and the 2 battle lines are duking it out.
Okay. Now, from my perspective with my soldiers, what do we have? 3 superhumans to the south of us?
Yes.
Okay. One of them already got shot at, correct?
Yes.
the slight one? Somebody speaking or?
No, I don't hear anybody.
Yeah. So, Frank, you're in the middle of a major battle now. You have Swamp Thinged out and are charging in for the enemy superhumans.
Rock on.
Now,
But right now it's Frankie's turn. Okay. So the militia are going to open fire on these 3 militia are going to open fire on the 3 gray coats. Oh, one of them screwy, a marksman.
Wow.
So only one of them hits and hits the other redhead, but hits him really hard. So that hits for 10 off the 20, which he is also going to soak any related damage. That's enough to do 1 wound, which he soaks. So just a graze on that one as well. Revere is going to do his power up, hopefully. Actually, Revere is going to spend the round concentrating so he can get the bonus on going at maximum speed. Okay, so the other guy who just took the graze does the same thing as his putative brother, but he actually does disappear into the ground. So he disappears into the ground, and then this guy, the short, dark-haired guy over by Pet Know It, whereas this guy, yeah, let's lead with that. Doesn't appear to do much of anything, and he actually
Seems to be afraid.
Yep. All right. All right. That takes us to the Native American guy, and the woman yells, "Deal with the super behind the lines."
Oh,
What's up?
Okay, this is going to be a long shot for him, but he screams, and the sound takes on almost a physical force and goes shooting across here,
Mary!
narrowly missing you.
is that addressed at me? Okay.
And then the woman, bone spurs erupt all over her upper body, tearing through her shirt,
Ah,
and she charges at Revere.
really?
Yep. And she charges in at a good clip, and then she swings with her these 2 her arms covered with these bone spurs at Revere twice.
Ouch.
Oh,
Misses on one of them, but she connects solidly on the other with a 13. All right, that's 20 damage to Revere.
Dang.
Just as an aside, traditionally when I've run this before for other people, it seems like Revere always goes down fast. That's 3 wounds for Revere, which he's going to try to soak.
follow. Come on.
And he manages to soak one of them. So he's not in great shape. She just ran up and basically mauled him with these bone spurs.
It's a weird power, but
She's Marrow.
Basically.
She can't take him out and throw him. Technically, she's known as Mauler, Okay, Victoria, you're up.
All right. Am I close enough to nuke either of these guys?
That is an excellent question. You have the blast power, correct?
Correct.
The answer is definitely yes. It's just a question of how hard it is.
Okay. I'm basically worried that I'm going to hurt Pet Know It, so I'm hoping I can sort of nuke the two of them and maybe take out part of their ranks on the side.
Okay, so blast. You definitely can do that.
Yeah, like maximum damage, maximum just blow a hole in the ranks and hurt those other two supers as best I can.
Okay, so that is you have a smarts of D8. You can drop one kind of right in front of that house, basically, and not hit Pet Noah, but hit both of the supers and the leftmost file of the British.
Yes, exactly.
Okay, go for it. Make the power roll.
All right, and how many power points can I use max?
Well, that's the thing. It's not power points.
Oh, that's right.
So by default, just a plain old blast is D12 minus 1.
Mm-hmm.
If you want to boost the damage, it becomes D12 minus 2.
It's a D12 though. It's worth a shot.
All right, go for it.
Okay. Oop. And I'm going to Benny that because I have several. Oops. Sorry, Frank.
Okay. That's going to be a raise. So with the, sorry, no, it's not quite a raise. So that's going to be 3d6 damage.
Groovy.
So, we do so Benny.
Yep. So 9 damage total. That will shake both of them.
All right. Awesome.
Okay. So you turn, and this time the bad guys get a joker.
Oof.
All right. So first thing this guy needs to do is unshake, which he does, and then he reaches his hand out towards. I don't know it. Oh, that's terrible.
And does nothing and waves.
That's so bad. He's gonna Benny that.
Oh,
There we go.
oh, come on. Wow.
Okay, so then I need a spirit roll from Pet Noah here to see if you resist the terrible mind control power of this guy.
Insanely high.
It is. And he got close with a 10, but not close enough to beat the 14 with the Joker.
Oh.
Ouch.
All right, so Pet Noah is now under the mental control of this guy.
Oh, shit.
Victoria.
Yeah. I think I want to throw another nuke around here, and then I want to GTFO this way.
Okay. So are you going to include Pet Noah in the blast zone this time?
No.
Oh, he can take it.
He's tough.
Yeah, but when
He
he's
doesn't hold grudges.
Not
at all.
I just if I can't.
So yes or no, he's in the blast zone.
Not in the blast zone, but
Okay.
a very reluctant, like, I don't want to do this.
And are you going to do a powered up one or a regular one?
Yeah, I want to inflict as much as I can because I know that it's probably going to chase after me and maul me, but
Okay, that is not quite good enough. No, so it's just barely good enough. So 3d6 again.
all right, awesome.
Oh, that's sad.
Yeah.
You did manage to shake the guy again, though.
Yay!
Oh, that's good.
And then I'll peace
Does that
out.
break his control over Pet Noah?
It does not.
And I'm gonna yell, Pet Noah's been influenced.
Oh boy.
Oh, no.
We're busy over here.
All right, next up is the guy who's underground. He's not popped back up yet. And then we have the other twin. And first he needs to unshake, which he does very easily. And then he is going to that. And suddenly he is 20 feet tall.
Whoa. That's the enemy?
And goes striding across the battlefield after Victoria.
Okay.
Okay, Pet Noah, you've been directed to attack Virginia or Victoria. I don't know why I keep saying Virginia. You've been directed to attack Victoria. You can make another spirit roll as an attempt because this is directly counter to your nature.
Let's do that. Am I still trying to beat the 14?
You are still trying to beat the 14, yes.
Yeah, crap.
Take that guy out.
Money, big money.
Still pretty good with a 10, but not good enough. All right, so you're going to move at your best speed to chase after Victoria also.
Ah!
True typhoon over there.
And give me a run die as well. So give me a d6. All right, so you're sprinting this way. All right, and then next up is Mahler, who is going to continue to try to slaughter Paul Revere.
Knew we should have rescued Prescott.
Okay, so she doesn't do that well this round. She's slashing away at him, but Revere's got his feet under him now, and he's dodging and weaving, and she doesn't manage to land a blow on him. Okay, Artemis, opposed athletics versus Leslie here.
Okay. So athletics, here comes.
Yeah, it's not that great. He's struggling pretty hard. So he doesn't break free, but you're not able to damage him either. Okay, this guy closes in. He does his little sonic scream thing again.
How's he able to hit Artemis without hitting Leslie?
If he rolls particularly badly, he could hit Leslie.
Got it.
In this case, he doesn't manage to hit anybody. In addition, the officers are now over here struggling as well. They're going to be attempting to grapple the invisible person here and pull him off of Leslie. All right, so first sergeant. I mean, that's not very good, but I still need the athletics roll from Artemis against the first guy.
Okay, comes.
And the second guy, so I need another athletics roll there. Oops, that was fighting, not athletics. That guy pulls you off of Leslie.
Okay.
So he's got a grip on you now.
Well, I know what I'm doing next round.
Uh-oh.
So you are now entangled with this guy. Okay. Elijah.
Okay. So I'm close, and I'm seeing Revere get slaughtered. I'm thinking that I'm going to yell at the lady who's like got the bone arms.
Yeah.
I'm gonna raise my Bible and tell her to. I'm gonna say, turn to the grace of God. Drop the weapons the devil has gave you. Pour down your arms. Hold on one second.
I'll turn and go, what the?
All right, make your roll.
Okay.
Is this persuasion or what?
Yeah, he's very persuasive. That's going to be a D12 minus what's the penalty that?
I don't know. I rolled for 12. Okay. 7.
Yeah, there's going to be a penalty on that though because you're in the middle of a fight. So it's going to be a 6 net. Let's see how she does on her spirit resist that. Not that well.
Awesome.
So she actually pauses and retracts the bone spurs.
Oh.
Okay, I'm gonna assume my guys with her.
Right. Tell your guys to do what?
I'm assuming the guys in front of me are gonna shoot. Like I wouldn't assume that they'd
Not with
hesitate.
empty muskets, they're not.
Oh yeah, that's an issue then, isn't it? I don't know. I guess
if you want to.
yeah, we're gonna with the bayonet and then.
Okay, so they're going to charge in and attack.
Okay.
Here comes the colonial militia.
Get him, boys. Bring down the devil.
Nope.
No.
That one might get through with the gang up bonus. That one gets through.
Nice.
Ooh, good hit. And that one also gets through. Wow, these guys are brutal.
Wow.
Okay, so the first one is going to...
That confidence thing worked well.
Sure did.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
You what?
First one's going to shake her and do another wound, which she's going to attempt to soak and succeed easily. The second one is going to do a lot more damage than that. That's good for 3 wounds, which she is again going to attempt to soak. And she manages to soak one of them with her last
It's
penny.
tough.
So she's now at 3 wounds. And then Clara.
I feel like the militia are doing a pretty good job with Jane. Like, how's she looking?
She's definitely beat up. She's at 3 wounds right now. One more and she goes down.
You could finish the job or move on.
Yeah. I'm going to try to block her with the shield.
All right. So that will give you a +3 on the gang up bonus. All right. So that is going to hit. and that is not going to do anything.
Really?
Yes.
Wow.
So she
Okay.
kind of rolls with that hit. And last but not least, Revere is a silver glow appears around him as he attempts
boy.
to activate his power here. And his deflection is online. So he is now -2 to be hit.
Good.
And that's where we're going to leave it for tonight. The Revolutionary War has begun, and it's anybody's guess how this fight's going to go.
It's cross-promotion week on the Happy MonsterCast, and this week we're promoting Untitled Dice Game presents The Department of Deliverance. Check it out.
Howdy, listeners. I'm Chris, the friendly neighborhood keeper from Untitled Dice Game, here to tell you about our actual play Monster of the Week podcast. It features a group of hunters with strange talents who've been recruited by a secretive government agency to fight monsters. Each week, we release a new episode packed with improvised humor, horror, and enough bad decisions to derail a train. Find us at untitleddicegame.com or search us out wherever you listen to podcasts.
You can follow Happy Monster Press on Facebook as Happy Monster Press, at our website, happymonsterpress.com, Twitter as Happy Monster PRS, or follow the podcast on YouTube, Stitcher Radio, Spotify, iTunes, or Google Play Music. The Happy Monster Cast is part of the Savage Worlds Media Network. This game references the Savage Worlds game system available from Pinnacle Entertainment Group at www.peginc.com. It is unofficial media content permitted under the Media Network Content Agreement. This content is not managed, approved, or endorsed by Pinnacle Entertainment Group. Certain portions of the materials used are the intellectual property of Pinnacle and all rights are reserved. Savage Worlds, all related settings and unique characters, locations, and characters' logos and trademarks are copyrights of Pinnacle Entertainment Group. All other content is the intellectual property of Happy Monster Press. Background music is Ice Cold by Jason Shaw.
Yeah.